All right. Should be recording now, and it's transcribing. I don't know if you can see that to the right, but
What's going on, everybody? This is Dave Stanridge from This is Pop Punk Promotions. I'm here with Ethan Black from Fort Washington, Maryland. How's it going, Ethan?
hey, it's going well, Dave. How are you?
I'm doing great. Really appreciate you coming on. Let's dive right into it. So, when and how did you start music photography?
So I got into photography probably about, I don't know, 10 or so years ago, doing more nature stuff like that. But I've always been into music, playing in bands, and I kind of wanted to mix the two. And recently, since I moved from the Midwest over to around where I'm at now in Maryland, DC area, I was trying to find a way to kind of get back into the music scene and get to know people since I didn't really know anyone over here. And so I started going to shows and just shooting bands for free. And after the show, just sending them what I shot. So yeah,
That's really awesome. I'm sure the bands really appreciated it.
yeah. I usually always get a lot of good feedback from the bands once I send them their photos. So
Right on, dude. So, who would you say your biggest influences are when it comes to music photography?
um, as weird as this is gonna sound, um, Justice Dodson was someone, I don't know if you know him. He's probably not a super huge name, maybe, but he when I was playing in a pop punk band, I went on tour with another band at the time. I was in a band called Call Your Own, and we went on a tour with a band called Keeper, and um, they had Justice come along with them to kind of document it. He had just quit his job and sold everything he had to buy music equipment and just kind of go 100% into it. And I really liked his stuff, his attitude, and I've just kind of followed him around since then. And I've had him take pictures of my band and whatnot. And I don't know. I've always been really inspired by what he did. So that's my biggest influence.
That sounds pretty punk rock to me.
Yeah.
Right on, dude. So, if you could shoot one big band, who would it be?
Oh man. Um, I don't know. Who would I want to shoot if I could shoot one big? Is that a currently active band or any band at all?
Any band.
Any band. I don't know. Probably someone who puts on a really good live show. So I think it would be kind of hard, but I one of my favorite live shows I've seen was Enter Shikari. There's a lot of stuff going on, and their music is great. There's a lot of energy going on stage and in the pit and whatnot. So I think they would be a fun band to shoot.
I love Enter Shikari,
Yeah,
big Enter Shikari guy. So that'd be epic.
yeah.
Sick, man. So you're from Fort Washington, Maryland. How's the alternative music scene there? Do you have a favorite venue, favorite local band?
Yeah, so I just moved here about 3.5-ish years ago, and there is actually quite a big music scene here, in between Baltimore, DC, and Martinsburg, West Virginia. There are, I don't know, probably 50 to 100 more like smaller underground bands in the genre of punk, pop punk, hardcore, stuff like that. I'm actually in, I personally am in two bands here, and I run a music venue, like a DIY house venue out of my basement. So, my favorite venue around here, though, is probably Autobar. And um, I don't know. There's quite a bit. Autobar in Baltimore, the Depot in Baltimore. We have the Pie Shop in DC, which is a really great small venue where the owners also down below sell pies out of it, and they're super good and delicious. So
You're a jack of all trades. You have your own venue. You take pictures of sick bands. Like you can do it all, man.
I try. So I try and stay immersed in the scene.
Very cool. So now I'm going to ask you some non-music questions. It's a good way for me
Sure.
to get to know you as a person. I did this with the other people. Are you ready to roll?
Yeah. Let's do it.
All right. First one. Favorite dessert.
Ooh, favorite dessert. Um, Man, I am not a huge sweets person, but I'll probably go tres leches.
Interesting. I've never heard of it.
It's a cake, a tres leches cake. It's like a Mexican cake. It's really moist. Tres leches means three milk, so it's got a lot of milk in it. It usually comes in a milk like base sitting in it, and it's super good.
Well, I really appreciate it. Now I'm getting really hungry. So as soon
Yeah,
as we're done, I'll be going to the fridge and getting some food.
nice.
So if you were stranded on a desert island, what three items would you want to have with you?
I was stranded on a desert island. um, I would probably want to have a guitar so I could keep my sanity. Um, I'd probably take a pocket knife, as most people would. Could do a lot with that. And my third item, hmm. I guess if it could be any item, and I had a full battery in it, and an SD card, I would take a camera so I could kind of document, at least for a bit, what's going on. But those would probably be my three items.
I love it. So if you could pick one song to play, what song?
Um, it's just like I can play one song for the rest of my life, or I just am playing one song right now.
If you could play one song on that island, like what would the song be?
Honestly, I don't know. I tend to not play a lot of other songs. I guess the cover I've been really enjoying playing right now lately has been "I Live in Hell" by Dear Landlord. So
Hmm,
probably that song, especially if I'm now stranded on an island.
interesting. I've never heard of it. I'll have to go and check it out.
Yeah.
So if you had $1 million and you could donate to any charity, which one?
Oh man. Um, I don't know at this point. I don't know which one I would donate to. I think I'd be torn between something to help the environment or something to help with civil rights. But probably at this point in time, something more to help towards civil rights and um, based on where the kind of world's going. But I don't know which charity specifically right now.
Right on, dude. Very cool. So if you could go back in time and talk to one world leader or perfect person of influence, who would it be?
Hmm. I could go back in time. Let's see. I think I would probably like to talk to Neil Armstrong and see kind of what his experience was for going to the moon. I mean, that's something a lot of people don't get to do, but just also being the first person to make such like monumental history, you know?
Yeah, I think it'd be really dope to be like, hey man, like what was it like to step foot on the moon? Like, like just what
Yeah,
was it like?
yeah, definitely. I mean, it's got to be a surreal experience, you know? Like, I don't know. I couldn't imagine. So,
Floating around in space and wearing one of those sick suits. It
oh
must have
yeah,
been pretty epic.
hell yeah.
All right, last question. What are some places in Fort Washington that visitors check out?
So Fort Washington doesn't have too much in it. I would recommend going to DC or Alexandria. They're right over the bridge. One thing that Fort Washington does kind of have, though, I guess technically it's in Oxon Hill, but right same area. We have the National Harbor. It's got a giant Ferris wheel. There's a couple good restaurants down there, but I would probably suggest going to Old Town Alexandria or going to Navy Yard in DC, which are also both almost equally as close and have a lot of cool stuff to do in them.
Well, I'm a big history guy. It was one of my
Okay.
favorite subjects in school, so I would be in heaven. So when I get down there to hang out, you'll have to take me to all those spots.
Oh yeah, if you're a big history guy, I don't know if you're like war history, but Fort Washington is an actual fort here, so you can kind of go to it and go inside. So if that's something you'd be interested in, yeah, that's like 15 minutes from my house.
Oh, I don't discriminate when it comes to history, dude. I love it all.
Yeah, awesome.
I was a history nerd in school.
Nice.
Well, I really appreciate you coming on and chatting up a little bit, and the support means the world to me.
Yeah, of course. Awesome. And thanks for having me on. I really appreciate it as well.
Anytime. So for the people that are going to watch this later, where can they find you and your work at?
So I haven't been super active on it lately, but I do have an Instagram and Facebook. And I can't remember if I made a Blue Sky or not, but you can find my work at Dissonant Records Photography. I think it's just Dissonant Records on Facebook and Instagram. But yeah, check me out. And if anybody is interested, let me know, and I'd definitely be down to shoot some bands or anything sometime.
Do what the man says. Go to the websites and like them all. Support local music photographies. He's doing a great thing for the scene, and really appreciate you coming on, chatting up a little bit, and we'll be in touch.
All right, thanks, Dave. I really appreciate it.
Of course,
Yep.
anytime.
All
Peace
right,
out.
peace, man. Bye.